Hello.
Welcome to Solutions from the Multiverse.
It's another episode. I'm Scott Maupin. This is Adam Braus.
That's me.
Should I not introduce both
It's
of us?
weird when I hear you say my name. Is it weird? What if I say, hi, my name's Adam Braus and this is Scott Maupin? Doesn't that sound weird?
Sounds all right. That
Okay,
sounds
never
fine.
mind.
To me,
That's just
sounds
okay.
okay.
We'll just keep doing it however.
All right.
It's fun.
Well, now we both said both names, so we're covered.
That's right. This episode, belt and suspenders. We've got it covered. This episode, well, the idea that I want to share is a kind of about communication.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a new idea because some of our ideas are always like they're like politics or kind of society or something.
Yeah.
This is actually just a kind of a tech, like an app, like an idea for like a business. But
All right.
I can't really make this business because anyways, you'll hear what it is.
Okay.
So bottom line up front, here's the idea. Do you have like an Alexa or like a Cortana? Do you use like Siri or Cortana, the Microsoft?
Not a ton, but they're...
But you know they exist.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I use Alexas all the time. I have like tons of... This is brought to you by Amazon, right? I like Alexas. They're
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
I had Siris, but I like Alexa better. Not good. I have a criticism. Alexa should communicate like R2D2.
Only beeps
This
and
is
boops?
the idea. Yes.
Okay.
Alexa and all these personal assistants would be far superior if they did not communicate in English. I mean, occasionally they'll need to say like what time it is or something. They can't do beeps and boops for that.
Okay.
But they could, like I could say, hey, Alexa, what time is it? And, and then it could be like beep, beep, boop, boop. And I know that was like 2:30. Something like that could happen. It could happen. But the main thing is just like Alexa says these stupid things in English and she just sounds stupid. And she should just be like, she should just be like trill for good, beep, boop for bad. Like, yes,
Just
no,
the
simple
audio version of emojis.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Audio
Exactly.
emoji.
Because currently they're still in the
uncanny valley.
uncanny valley.
I was
They're
just going to
weird.
tell you, I can fully support anything that gets rid of the robot voice prevalence
Yes.
everywhere.
It's creepy, and people are creeped out by these things. Like I mean, I'm pretty tech forward, comfortable, whatever. I don't think there's going to be any major problems with having an Alexas in my house. But other people are not like that. They're like, oh, this is weird. Oh, it's creepy. I'm like,
yeah, there's a big chunk of
yeah,
that.
there's a problem.
But I'm less opinionated on that and more on just the person saying, hey, I have a pizza at this place.
Yeah,
I want to hear
Yeah.
people talk normally, and I want to hear robots talk like robots, and I don't want to mix the two up, but
yeah,
I'm never going to get my wish in that. It's just going to keep moving toward. But I could support something where we switch it on its head and go straight to beeps and boops.
right. Because
I'm down
now
with
it's
that.
like you're not in the uncanny valley. You're a bot. You're not a human.
It works with my
That's cool.
microwave and my oven. They tell me,
Right? Beep.
they
done.
give me beeps and boops that
Yeah.
say when they're ready to do stuff or when they're
Works
turned
great.
off or
They don't
my
say,
timer's done.
the microwave is ready for
Right.
you to put the, no, that's
It
crazy.
Plays a little, it
Yeah,
plays a little
yeah.
melody or it plays a little beep and a boop and I know what's up. Same with my phone notifications. I would
Right.
hate it if every time I get a text message, the phone said text message
received.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
what these assistants are doing. But if they had an R2D2 design philosophy,
Mhm.
then like, for example, I get these I try to turn them off. But anyways, I get I'll get Amazon notifications on my Alexas and I can see because they're yellow. And that means I have a notification. And I can say, Alexa, what's the notification? And it tells me you have a package coming or something. And that's fine. But I say, Alexa, delete all notifications. And it says, notifications deleted. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's so dumb. Just go, delete, like done, that's great.
The people we need, the geniuses we need are the ones, the Nintendo design team
Yes.
who make the perfect like little blinks and
Yes,
little kaklinks
yes,
and
yes.
bonks.
Yes. Chiptune
The
artists.
tiniest, the tiniest fraction of a second. Because what I don't want is, yes to be a 3.5
Beep, boop,
minute
boop, beep, boop, boop,
song.
beep, beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep,
I'm like, I
beep,
want short stuff.
Yeah. Chink, ba-ding, ba-ding, yeah. Something like that would be good.
Totally.
Ba-ding, yeah.
And then if
Anything.
you could get it, I mean, it would become universal where you would start to understand other, I guess.
Yes, it
you
would be
could hear
dialects.
other people's-
There'd be dialects of different, but they'd be intuitive. Obviously, like
Down
high.
south, you've got the beeps and the
Oh,
boops.
you get your beeps and your boops.
Oh, boop,
Go-
boop,
oh.
boop. Oh no, I'm canceled. I'm sorry.
Oh, just like
I'm canceled.
Just like how you can get different voices for your Alexa. There
Sure.
could be different robot dialects.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. You can get different voices for your Alexa, so they should just release an R2D2 voice
A beep boop
so
version.
that I can just pick one of those.
Yeah.
And now you can keep your default Alexa voice if you want. But if you want a beep boop voice, just download it. Just use it,
if people go to the trouble of learning Klingon or Dothraki or any other sort
like
of
so many people
fictional language,
like so many people
beeps
do.
and boops. It can be a new language that's more useful.
I had a friend who learned who went abroad to another country, learned the language of that country, came home and then watched Lord of the Rings, and halfway through she turned and said, "I can understand Elven."
What?
Because I guess Elven is based on Finnish.
Okay.
And she went and lived in Finland and learned Finnish. So imagine how the Finnish people all felt when they started watching it, and the whole audience was like, they're talking our language.
It's us.
We are elves. We are the elves.
They look left and right, and their golden flowing hair flashes left and right.
Why would we be the elves?
Then the angry ones fire arrows at the screen. They hop out incredibly agile.
They jump into their
how dare you?
Their wooden homes.
That's incredible. I knew that a lot of I know Tolkien was a linguist who studied languages and and really got nerdy and into making his languages, his fictional languages, really act like real languages would, or got really into that. So that doesn't surprise me, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
I speak neither Finnish nor Elvish.
Neither do I. The Finnish also, they call their own country Suomi.
Okay.
We're like, you know what? Finland.
No, I like.
What's your name? Suomi? Finland. Shut up, Finn. Shut up, Finland.
I do feel like a lot of the English, when you learn that a lot of the English language names for other countries are not the names that those countries have, it's kind of strange. Or learning another language.
What's another
and
one? Do you know a good one that's really? I guess Deutschland is really different from Germany.
Sure.
Yeah. And then they call it Alemania in Spanish, Allemand in French. So it's really the German. No one calls Germany Deutschland.
I mean,
which is weird.
I went to Japan, and Japan is Nihon. It's not Japan.
Yeah,
no
one says
but
Nihon.
And I'm sure that's the same. There's South Korea. There's probably the same situation. China.
Hangul, I think, is Korea, and in Korean is Hangul.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, China is Middle Kingdom. I don't know how to say it in Chinese or Mandarin, but. Yeah, I guess you're right. Isn't that weird? I guess we're United States. Spanish people call us Estados Unidos. That's still United States, but it's in Spanish.
It is it's just one of those things of language where you can't have everything be just the universal constant.
Yeah.
Because
the Chinese, I think, have the best name for America. Megwak, which is beautiful land.
Nice.
Yeah, isn't that great? I think it's kind of from America, Megwak.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of, and that just means it's the character for beautiful. So I'm like, that's very nice of you guys.
What if it's very ironic or
they're like
tongue in cheek? No, this is one of those where Greenland, Iceland, where we called it the opposite thing to trick people.
It's like your friend who's really skinny, you call him Crusher, or like your big, scary, strong
ironic.
friend. Yeah.
Our giant friend Tiny.
Yeah,
it's ironic.
Exactly. Bubbles. Here's Bubbles.
Oh yeah, you're from beautiful land. Got you. Okay, okay.
Nice.
We love it. We love it.
Work.
So much respect.
Could be, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, back to the solution. How would this possibly take place? So I've told a few people. I know like 2 people who work at Amazon, and I was like, "You guys should make Alexa have a beep boop voice," and they were like, "I work in a completely different." They were like, "Why are you even?"
Why.
Yeah. These are not like Alexa product managers or something who can actually do anything.
I don't have a red phone that rings Jeff Bezos on his yacht and say, guess what, Jeff?
Guess what?
We got the next
Listen up.
Amazon 2.0.
Here it comes.
There we go.
Are you sitting down?
But I don't know. How do they respond to the idea? I mean, where would you start?
I don't know. These companies, they used to be like agile. They used to like come up with new things. I don't think they come up with new things very much anymore.
So we're going to have to figure it out how to implement this, because I don't think you can go straight to R2D2 language and get people on board. But maybe if you say you're going to use your Alexa to teach people Morse code, or
okay,
like start
Braille.
kind of ease them into beeps and boops and make them think that it's beneficial, and then switch and say, now you have to learn R2D2 language.
I feel like they could just introduce yes and no. They could just do beep,
yes,
beep boop.
Definitely yes
It'd
and no.
It'd be so
commands.
easy.
You
know, and like also they could make like a noise. They make this really loud and long noise when it's not connected to the internet. It's like dung.
Really?
It's super annoying because it's so long and it's so loud.
Well,
that could be fixed. That should be like brrk, you know, like not connected to the internet. You know, so they could fix a few little things. They could just fix a few.
I haven't used an Alexa or one of these very much at all. How much conversation is going on when you're trying to get things done?
Not a ton, but you know, I'll say like, Alexa, it'd be nice if you could convey amount of time, because I do a lot of timers on it and alarms. It's really easy to be like throwing something in the oven and you're like, Alexa, put a timer on for 30 minutes. It's just so easy. And then it all rings all over the house, so I hear it no matter what. I mean, it's great. But, you know, sometimes I want to be like, hey, Alexa, how much time is on the timer? And then it's like, there are 17 minutes on the timer. Could it fix that?
Right. Like when you're asking a simple question and it decides it's time for a paragraph. Answer.
But could there be like a beep boop language for amounts of time? That would be a bigger lift. I would learn that. So, I would be really happy to have like beeps for quarter hours, beeps for minutes, and then be able to tell, you know, minutes up to 100 minutes easily. I'd do that in a second. But other people might think that was weird.
Having to learn a new, maybe. The place where I run into, I don't have an Alexa, but the place where I run into the robot voice annoyance the most is like if I'm trying to do navigation in the car. And first of all, it wants to be telling me audio stuff, so I turn that off immediately. But if I don't turn it off, it's being like, you have a right turn in 600 feet.
So weird.
And now you have a right turn in 300 feet. Now it's 100 feet. And that's the part that annoys me, having to hear like the same
over and over,
set. And if that was just a beep boop boop, a beep boop boop, you know.
Yeah, like it could be like,
that means
it could
turn
be like,
right, turn left.
Luke, you've turned off your targeting computer or something wrong. And the targeting computer is like beep, 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 getting closer to the right turn. That'd be so great.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like right turn in 300 feet. Beep. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, right turn.
Wait, I was trying to figure out a way to have fewer sounds happening while I'm driving.
Fewer sounds total.
You're
but it's a
more.
beep boop language.
It is beep.
It's not language. It's not English.
I think, though, that could be one area where there might already be an R2D2 version.
Because he is in the back of the X-Wing.
Because you can download like different,
Stay in Star Wars.
But if
you're doing Star
but if you're doing different, if you're doing like directions or driving directions, you're limited. You have a much more limited set of things that you need to translate, right? Yeah. You know, go forward, turn right, turn left.
Could you make a little language for it?
Way fewer than you would need for like just asking random Alexa
Maybe
questions.
We're underestimating people too. Like most people in the world speak 3 languages. That might sound weird, but it's actually true.
It does sound weird,
but for Americans, it's weird. But actually, most people speak 3 languages. Not a question. Like, that's super common, you know, because they speak like the language from their village, the language from the dialect of their nation, and then they speak some other language, maybe English.
Right.
And that's like most people.
Especially places where different languages are smushed up against each other more.
And even a lot of times in America, people speak at least 2. They'll speak their language from whatever their heritage is, and they'll speak English, and they might also speak Spanish, or they might also speak Tagalog, or whatever language is kind of their community language. Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're underestimating people, that it's like, we couldn't just literally teach them a 15-word or 25-word new language.
Well, and we're
like teaching someone how to type, you know?
Yeah, anytime you get into a new like app or a new thing that's been designed, there's an onboard. You know, there's a learning. Onboarding. Where are the things that I know exist here? Where are they? You have to find them out.
And think
and
how
your brain
fun and delightful
that
that would be compared to the current experience of Alexa. When I show people Alexas and they haven't used them before, I'm like, I like these, so I'm going to show you them. They immediately are like, that's creepy. Right. If instead you turned it on and it was like, chirp, chirp, you know, like you'd be like, oh, that's so cute, you know? And then it would be like, chirp, chirp, chirp. And then you'd be like, what are you saying, Alexa? And then it would like teach you its little language, you know? That would be so freaking cool.
Some people
like an R2D2. Everyone loves R2D2, right? He's cute. He's friendly.
Some people object to the idea of the surveillance state and making it just chirp at them. is like, you're not addressing my concerns. But I see what you're doing.
Right.
Here.
I mean, I'm coming from the perspective of
you're okay with this technology.
I'm okay with the technology. Yeah. Because I think as long as it's not the government, I mean, granted, they say they give it to the government or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, we haven't really seen, I believe in tit for tat. Tit for tat. Until you see an abuse and people are saying that they're doing their best and that it's supposed to be good, then it's fine. When you start to see abuses, then you're like, I'd throw that shit out the window if I heard that Alexa, I don't know, they were turning over thought criminals to the NSA or something through Alexas. I'd throw that away.
They're giving away all your information, but it's only in beeps and boops, so it's really hard to
beeps and boops are hard to communicate.
You're gonna have
I can't understand what this
there's a level.
Is saying.
Exactly. You can imagine you put out you issue whatever, not a warrant, whatever it is that you need to get evidence from something.
Oh yeah.
And
warrant,
they send it back to you, a search warrant, and they send back to you just an audio tape of like beeps and boops. Yeah. They're like, here you go. Here's your evidence. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with that? And they give you a dictionary for English to beep and boop language. They're like, have fun. You're like, no. That's where we get the initial onboarding to happen. We make people do it if they want to use.
I probably, we always are going to get people are going to rage tweet at us always about something in each episode. I think I'm going to get totally excoriated by the internet saying, "Oh, your privacy is getting destroyed." I just want to tell everybody, I understand. I care about privacy. I understand. I'm a fan. 1984 Orwell. I'm a huge Orwell fan.
I'm a fan of what they were doing in 1984. I like it.
No, I don't.
I hope we get to that stage someday.
God damn it. I love Big Brother, like everyone does.
It's double plus
Oceania
good.
has always been at war with Eurasia. Yeah. But, so I'm just saying, yes, I just believe that, Julian Assange continuing to be considered a prisoner, that's bad. That is a bad thing. But Julian Assange wasn't like put in prison because of Alexa, like that, you know what I mean? So there are problems with freedom of speech and with surveillance state, there's questionable things about like where cameras are. And I agree with all of that. And like certainly facial recognition, hugely fraught, but I've done the analysis on all of these, and with the Alexas, I feel comfortable with it. I haven't seen any kind of egregious risk or error yet. And it's like, it's up to every person. I
if they
could just
want to
throw
do
them
it,
away if I don't. If something bad happens, right?
Yeah, sure.
I don't feel like I'm giving away some. Anyways, so I just don't want the internet to be too mad at me or us. Have you ever heard the theory that R2D2 is in charge of the whole Star Wars?
Have I heard the theory that he's in charge of the whole Star Wars?
Yes.
No, I have not.
You should rewatch episode, the New Hope.
I spent a long time on a theory that Jar Jar Binks was like a secret Sith Lord or something.
Jar Jar Binks Sith Lord.
I think that's the only one I went down a rabbit hole on.
Okay, that's a good one too.
I didn't do any of the other ones, but I'll keep my eyes out.
If you watch the first one, chronologically the first one. Human chronology, the first one.
Yeah.
Then you'll see, if you think who's running the show here, you actually could argue that our R2D2 is in charge of the whole thing. Like, it's not the Force, it's not Luke, it's not Obi-Wan, it's R2D2. Because R2D2 gives Leia the first thing. Or no, R2D2, escapes from the pod, goes down to the desert planet, meets Luke, right? But then doesn't show Luke the full thing because he wants Obi-Wan. So he just shows Obi-Wan Kenobi so that Luke takes him to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Then he shows Obi-Wan Kenobi exactly at the right time,
right, with
the right people present, this thing. Then he ends up riding on the X-Wing that takes out the Death Star. Is it really Luke and the Force that shoots that proton torpedo? Or is it just R2D2 it's shooting the proton torpedo?
Humans constantly taking credit
the humans
for R2D2's actions and heroism.
Yes, exactly.
And he can't express himself.
He's just like...
Well, no wonder he's such an angry, surly little droid.
Yeah,
because he's doing all the work, and all the people are like, "Look at how great I am! I closed my eyes and flew the plane perfectly." And the robot in the backseat was like, "Oh, really? You closed your eyes while I was flying the plane, and you're taking credit now? Great, good job.
Thanks. That was me, all me. People. And then you don't know because it's really just coming secondhand from C-3PO, and who knows what he's filtering out, right?
So we've jumped to Star Wars, but this does remind me that the beep boop language, especially R2D2's,
friendly.
That's owned by Star Wars, which is now owned by Disney. So we can't.
Well, Disney could make an assistant.
No, what I'm saying is Disney is not going to let anything out of their
Well, but you could just make another beep boop.
You could. So that's what I'm saying. We have to figure out something else. So if you're in a house, you have like an Alexa that can control house type stuff.
Yeah.
Then you make it like household noises, like maybe yes is a creaking door, and no is like a kettle popping.
Yeah.
And then you get in like the Alexa can control your lights, so maybe it decides to flicker your lights when it's on or off, and you get to a state where
like a haunted house.
Yeah, it's like you have your own personal assistant ghost, where when you're making requests to your digital assistants, it responds like a ghost, like the chandelier shakes a little bit.
We could actually put little actuators, like Wi-Fi enabled actuators on the
this
chandelier.
Gets us away from Star Wars, like
into
copyrighted,
into
Spooky Town, and then we can get ghost people to be into it. And that's where you get the spookies, and they create the adoption to everywhere.
And
else.
This could become like a little package that we sell, the Spooky House Alexa interface.
You see, I say I need a timer for 10 minutes, and when it's up, the rocking chair starts moving by itself. And then I know that if I get a text message, the keys of the piano like start to play. And like the wall shakes a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay, it's a spooky house thing, and that you could do from house to house and keep the same.
And it could be,
it always shakes the chandelier. I mean, houses mandatory have to have
change different things. Yeah, you could do doors moving, and you could have like drafts. Ooh. You could also just have.
Oh, that's just my Bluetooth rocking chair. You've got my Bluetooth wind chimes that are connected through Wi-Fi.
That is so excellent.
But then you've got like a kind of a spooky, and imagine the sales increase during October.
Everyone would want that. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. There could be, and then you could do all kinds of ones. You could do Christmas themed ones. Ho, ho, ho. You know.
We have to delete this podcast. This is a $1 billion idea.
Yeah. This is not to be released. This is not for. So here's an interesting thing to kind of contextualize. This may sound crazy, but not crazy. This is maybe a known thing. The greatest innovations in technology, at least consumer technology, over the last 15 years, 20 years, really forever, are interface changes, right? So especially if you look at Apple's like Arc, you see this. Like Apple introduced, like Steve Jobs famously stole the mouse and keyboard from Xerox and put it into the Apple II. And that's what made it what it was. It was interface, screen, keyboard, mouse. Then the iPod was really the rolly wheel with the center button. That was what with the screen. That was an interface innovation. That's what made the iPod.
Right.
The iPhone, again, interface innovation. Tap.
Yes.
Right.
Touching the thing.
I think we are underestimating that these personal assistants, I think, should have been or could continue to be bigger than they are, because they were like, everyone thinks about apps like phones and apps, but then people, these personal assistants, they're just like these little sideshows. If they really adopted a good interface, and I think these whistle kind of beeps and boops interface is the optimal interface,
right?
With then clear English, clear human speech when they do need to speak in human speech. But you need the whistles and boops and bites to sort go fast.
An idea to minimize the extraneous talking,
right?
When you don't
exactly, and extraneous noise and extraneous just mental load of having to like listen to this robot like talk to you in English. It's stupid,
right?
So if you did that, I think people are just underestimating. Like it wouldn't just be like, oh, personal assistants would be a little bit better. I actually think it could create like a breakthrough. The way that the iPod, the iPhone was like a breakthrough because it innovated on UX itself, on user experience itself. So I think there's really stakes here, because all these Alexa's assistants and everything were all invented basically after the age of startups, like after visionary people like Steve Jobs were in charge of companies. Now it's really just like these PMs who just kind of do what is expected. They're mostly just copying other companies. So you don't see these like breakout ideas because they don't take as many risks. Anyway, so if some company took the risk and actually released like a beep boop language personal assistant, I don't know, maybe the possibilities are.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the major shifts like you're talking about aren't happening by inventing the complicated thing, but inventing a way for regular people to use the complicated thing without being overwhelmed,
Right.
That's the iPod. That original wheel and click thing is now like, that's how you search through a giant file database,
Right, very quickly.
Which when you try and say, oh, you're searching through a file database for certain things, someone would be like, no, thank you. But they say, oh, you're spinning this wheel through your music library.
Right.
And selecting
you can go by song, you can go by,
Now you've translated it to what makes sense to me and only what I need.
Exactly.
And it works.
Exactly. And the way Steve Jobs would do this, I mean, everyone likes to lionize these guys. I'm sure it was like a team of people, but in the history books, it all gets attributed to him.
Sure.
He did these things. He quite honestly like would think really about the way people wanted to interact. Like, for example, when he gave instructions to the guy who then went and built the first mouse for Apple, he said, I want it to work here. And he went on wood. And then he said, I want it to work here. And it was glass. And then he said, I want it to work here. And he did it on his jeans, on his thigh. That was the instructions. That's a really different instructions than like somebody saying like, make a mouse. Yeah, it should work. People would probably just make it work on mouse pads, on a desk, and nowhere else. But Jobs is really thinking about like that user interface. Same thing with the iPhone. He said, who needs a stylus? I have 10. And he told his engineers, it has to work with my fingers. My fingers have to be the stylus. And no one else was doing that. Everyone else was like, no, the engineers were like, no, you got to use a stylus.
Palm Pilot. Yeah, sure.
And so Steve Jobs had this like thing. I feel like we kind of lost that in Amazon, Google, like they just put out things that kind of look like other people's things.
Right.
So, and they don't have that attention to user interface. So this is, I think, the kind of breakthrough thing for the personal assistants would be the kind of beep boop languages. And I think go with it. Let people, I would sit there, and if it only took like 30 or 40 minutes, which it probably wouldn't take even longer than that, I would learn a more complex language to communicate with these things, because I think it'd be really nice to have that speed and kind of efficiency. Well, the same way that I'd sit and practice typing.
Yes, exactly.
To be good at typing. Yeah.
You learn how to type
literacy
to be faster at communicating, not that there's some magic, to being able to push the keys without looking at them.
And you're not doing it to like be more robotic or something. You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah,
so
you're
that
just
you
like,
can communicate better.
I spend a little bit of time here getting the efficiencies down, and then it pays off through the rest of my use of the thing.
So if there's a language to communicate time, and there's a language to communicate, minutes and hours and what time it is, and I would learn all that, because that's what I do 80% of my use of these things for.
Sure. Well, you were just saying your phone flashed a certain color of light and you knew what that meant.
Right.
Which I wouldn't have known because I don't use that, but you learn it because you use it, and it helps you simplify and streamline.
Well, that I wish I could turn off. I hate those notifications. I did turn it off, and somehow some of them get through still.
They get back on?
Yeah. But I mean, you can do a whole thing where like whenever Amazon has an order or whatever, it can all come through the Alexa, but that's really annoying. Because you don't want to have to, again, you don't want to have to engage with the Alexa. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Beep boop language.
Beep boop language. I like it. Get R2D2 is the hero of Star Wars.
R2D2 is the hero of Star Wars. Go watch A New Hope again.
We need to respect him and honor him.
That's right.
With beep boop languages.
Beep boop languages.
Universal. All right.
All right. Like we're waiting on Amazon. Or Apple. Move. Apple could keep the flag, of being the ones who break through on the user interface. Siri could be the first to do it.
It's anyone's
really
game
cool.
right now.
It's really anyone's game. It's a toss-up. All right, let's end it there.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm Scott.
I'm Adam.
And we'll see you next time.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, thanks for listening to that episode of Solutions from the Multiverse.
Yeah, we're back with a little after roll. Hello.
Hey, after roll. Roll that after roll. So basically, we want you to subscribe.
Yeah.
And rate and review. And tell someone, like take your favorite solution and send it to someone who you think it would like blow their mind to hear it.
Yeah, we love making the show. We're proud of it. And we're excited. We want other people to show. We know that the main way people find podcasts is word of mouth. I know that's true for me. I listen to my friends who also listen to podcasts tell me about ones, and I go, okay, I'm cluing into that. So we want to be part of that chain.
So thanks for being a part of Solutions.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon.
Bye.
Bye.